messing up by not knowing the course, and here in the Philippines, disc golf is pretty new.
Yeah,
so the courses aren't marked really good.
Should we order?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I thought about, because we do a lot of the, you saw our van, we do a lot of van life, camping, and I thought about, and we're looking into buying a piece of land for a campsite, and I thought about doing disc golf on it. I didn't think they had it anywhere here. I never researched it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing that I can get my fat ass out walking with. It's like I hate walking, but one day I went to rode my motorcycle to the park near my house, and there was this guy playing. I'm like, I wonder if that would make me walk. So I ordered like $20 worth of discs. They have a beginner's set of 3 discs. Ordered that on Amazon, and I went out there, and the first time I only made it 3 holes, and I was done. I was exhausted because I was so badly out of shape.
Yeah.
So I kept at it, and since I was already retired, it's like I was going pretty much every day. And what I didn't know was that the guys that were already playing, like there's a whole tight-knit like family. And they were seeing me out there every day, and I was just, working on my fitness.
Are you gonna have a milkshake?
But they looked at it as me putting in the work. So I unexpectedly got a lot of respect from the guys. Plus, I was one of the older guys, so Cajun culture is maybe not as much as Filipino culture, but a lot of respect for older people. So, I got to be in the community, lots of great people. I traveled a bit just to play disc golf. But I mean, that's what's getting me to do some walking, because I mean, every time I play, it's at least a couple of miles of walking. And on the bigger courses, like if I'm in a tournament on a larger course, that could be like 7 or 8 miles of walking. And then you're getting your trunk twisters by doing this motion, and then your toe touches by bending down to pick up the disc. That's like 100 times around.
Wow.
So.
Are you? So you're going to the one in Silang?
I am trying to. I met a tuk-tuk driver whose name is Brian, which is my first name also. And he said he was going to take me to Ceylon. But then when he was supposed to meet me here at 8:30 the other day, he said he's not allowed to go there. So I said, okay, take me to Indang. And he said he's not allowed to go there either.
They have to stay local. Yeah. And even here in Tagaytay, they have that. There's certain zones.
Yeah.
Like if you're in zone 1, you can't go into zone 2. There's I think there's 3 zones. So the tuk-tuks that are part of zone 1, they can't go anywhere else until after hours or something. There's like a cutoff time, I think.
Okay.
But
there was a couple of them that brought me to Indang.
Oh yeah.
And the first one just brought me in, and turned out it was a Tuesday, so the park was closed. So we just turned around and came right back. And then the second time I went, there was a lot of stuff to go through, because the guy got on his radio first to check to see if he would be allowed to do it. And our deal was like $300 to get me up there, and then he would wait for me, and then $300 to get me back. And I was tipping $200 on that. But we made the deal, and then he got me like a half a block of Oliveras up to the little shopping area. And there was, I guess, the boss man on the radio, and they called over a different tuk-tuk, and his passengers got in my tuk-tuk, and I got in his tuk-tuk, and he brought me all the way up to Indang. So, I mean, there's, I guess, some hoops to jump through, but we did it. And I did watch the first video of yours that I watched when y'all went up on the mountain to look at the property, and it ended up being a disappointing experience.
Yeah. Horrifying. I mean, we were on these inclines, and then you had to like switch around, and that's a big, heavy van.
Yeah.
Which one do you want? Brownie? Go ahead and grab it. Nana will pay for it. Yeah, it was. We almost went off the cliff. The back tire went off the road, and it was nothing but, you know, a couple thousand feet down. So yeah, this guy that owned the property, he had a motorcycle. He had no problem. You know, it'd be a beautiful motorcycle ride.
Yeah.
Those mountains, and there's some nice mountains around.
Holy smokes, I think I just saw a Porsche GT3, and I hear something else behind it.
I already ordered. I did the American breakfast, but without the bread. I had two eggs.
Eggs? You do that for you or me?
For me.
Okay.
What do you want?
Does that come with bacon?
Yeah. Bacon, ham, eggs. Aside from bread.
Okay, sounds good.
2 eggs. Are you having coffee? Americano? Which,
We stopped eating carbs. Okay, no bread, no rice. Challenging, but
Yeah, I guess so.
regular or grounded?
It's kind of hard to have a meal here without rice.
Yeah, we basically have to prepare our own, or, you know, people will substitute, like here they'll substitute rice for another egg for us, and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's really hard to find, there's some like good buffets that you don't have to get rice, you know, because there's so much meat.
Yeah.
There's one at have you been to Ayala Mall?
I have. I didn't notice any.
It's a
buffet.
Korean one. It's up top. You know where all the S&R and
Yeah,
the restaurants
S&R
are?
is where I ate the first time.
It's just like a few down from S&R.
Okay.
And it's called Wagyu or something. The thing is though, you have to do your work. Your grill's right there. They bring it out raw.
Okay.
Most of the stuff is raw. You just have to keep throwing it on.
Okay.
But all you can eat for 2 hours. I mean, they have chicken, they have beef, pork, scallops, huge shrimp,
Yeah.
seafoods. So that was all for us. That was all carb free, you know. And my father and his wife took us there, so it was a treat for us.
So the whole family's here then?
Yeah, my father moved here almost 2 years ago after my mother died.
Okay.
And, she died of cancer almost to the day 2 years ago, December 18th. So Wednesday will be 2 years. And he said, I have to get out of here. I can't stay in this house with all the memories. So we packed up everything in the house, which was a challenge.
Yeah.
Got everything gone. We did yard sale, and then dumpster. We brought a dumpster in.
Yeah. Well, when
My whole life.
when I sold my house, I was totally unprepared for the process because my real estate agent kept saying any day now, and I thought she was saying any day now. The lawyer, the closing agency, is going to say, hey, we're going to do this in a week. But no, they called me at 5 in the evening to tell me that it would be happening the next day at 4. So I didn't have anything packed. So I had to totally get my nephew to come over and help me with everything. And we put like so much stuff at the road that shouldn't have been at the road.
Yeah, what else are you going to do, right?
And just for those who don't know, at the road means for the garbage man to pick up or for your neighbors to go through.
Freebies. Yeah, it's a sport in Japan, dumpster diving.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I've seen some YouTubers do some dumpster diving.
Oh yeah, I mean, in the U.S., so many people, they throw out so much stuff. Here, it's like a repair it kind kind of culture, you know.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with your refrigerator, you don't just put it at the curb and
Yeah. Yeah.
get a new one. You get a guy that comes in and figures out what's wrong with it, kind of thing. In the
And
U.S., it's just
That's what I noticed here in the Philippines too, is that they fix everything. You know, they're just brilliant. I mean, it might be an unconventional way,
Yeah.
but it will be fixed.
yeah. So, I don't know. I'd kind of be interested in going to Ceylon.
I want to see it. I've never
It's
seen it.
really good. The only thing is they probably don't have like a storefront there where they sell all the stuff, right?
No, I mean, I have enough that, you know, you can borrow.
Oh, do you?
You know, yeah. I brought like a whole backpack. That's what takes up most of the room in my luggage. I put it in my check bag.
You know where your passion is, right?
Yeah, I have like a dozen discs with me.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
there's
I-
like different weights for like when you're closer, like the putter, you know,
Yeah.
and the long, you know, when you first
Yeah.
throw it.
Putter, mid-range, and driver.
Yeah. So you have to use a different one at
It's
different
like,
times. Yeah, it's not just one disc.
Yeah.
That's it.
But you throw it like a frisbee?
Yeah.
I've only done it a couple times, but I really liked it. You know?
Okay.
And just kind of life circumstances. I ended up in Central America for 17 years, and there's no disc golf down there.
Oh, so you're CIA.
Oh, you suck.
No, I started a non-profit organization down there. I studied down there. It was part of my student, what do you call that? Exchange program.
International exchange.
Okay.
I was gonna say intercambio, which is the Spanish version. So I ended up just staying down there because I loved it so much. So I did 2 semesters with my university. Then I went back and graduated. This is like early 2000, 2001, 2002. And then after I graduated, I moved back. I went back down to visit, and I looked for some property. I found an abandoned coffee plantation.
Okay.
And I bought it, and I spent the next several years just refurbishing it. You know, it was like a 100-year-old building, beautiful building. You know, and through my work, I was a landscaper, and so I'd spend my summers. At that point, I was living in Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'd spend my summers doing landscaping, summer, spring, fall, spring, summer, fall, and then when the cold weather came, I'd go down to my property in Nicaragua and just build. And yeah, I ended up making kind of like a life of it for a while. You know, I'd have people started hearing about what I was doing, and they'd come down, help out, volunteer. So I was getting people that had different, you know, welders, you know, would come down and help weld. Different groups started coming down. And next thing you know, yeah, we just had like enough support to be able to live there and keep building, you know. And these groups would come down and we'd plug them into different volunteer activities. Like there were like a old folks home we would visit. There was a drug rehab place that we would go to. There was a place for what would you call that? Disabled. Yeah, disabled people, like deaf mute and Down syndrome.
Down syndrome and prisons, orphanages.
Yeah, so we had like different people, you know, we would plug people into what they would want to help out with.
Yeah, and of course our community, because the mission center is right in the middle of a very poor rural community. So there's even the people around the families, they need help building their homes.
We're rural farmers. You know, it's kind of out in the boondocks. And I didn't have electricity for like 5 years. Wow. No real internet. No running water. We'd have to go make water runs with I had a pickup truck that was donated to me by people from Wisconsin. And we just bought a big tank that we put on the back of it, and we helped the community out. Eventually the government would come once a week?
Once or twice a week sometimes. Thursdays and Saturdays.
They would send water out, but it wasn't enough for our community. They would ration. Everybody had their own little barrels, you know. And you get like 2 barrels of water for 5 days for our whole family, you know. And these people, I mean, they would drink it too, you know. They would drink right out of it. So it was their drinking water, it was their laundry water, it was everything, you know, washing dishes. So
Oh, they had a separate container to do laundry and dishes and stuff.
yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
pretty
there was-
nasty to drink it.
So, but 2018, sort of like a revolution hit. It was actually started by the old retired folks.
Nice.
We're finding out that the government was taking their money, Social Security, and they were investing in these huge condo projects for tourism, because tourism started catching on. You know, it was like Nicaragua was starting to become like the second Costa Rica. You know, like people were finally starting to forget about the war, the Civil War in the '80s, and the whole thing, and they were starting to come there. So the government capitalized by taking the Social Security funds and investing in these condo projects. And this old guy found out about it, and he started some protests. Literally, like, you know, people in their 70s out there with signs. And one of the guys got beat up by a police officer. As soon as that happened, the university students in the capital, you know, there's always that one university that has like the political like flair that, you know, that one. Those university students, they started protesting along with the older people, and the cops started shooting people with rubber bullets, and they hit a 14-year-old kid in the throat with a rubber bullet and killed him. And then everything that was like gasoline on the fire. Everything blew up at that point, and everybody was out of their houses protesting. And it got to the point, I mean, they were like cutting down trees and burning tires in the roads, and they were trying to choke off, like, because Central, you know, from Panama Canal all the way up, it's a big truck route for all the goods.
Pan American Highway.
The Pan American Highway, so like the people
I'm
were
a retired trucker, but no.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And the people thought, well, if we can cut off, you know, the
Logistics.
road, we'll strangle out the government. It didn't work. And there were actually truckers from all over, from Mexico, from El Salvador, stuck there for like 2 weeks.
I've been seeing stories lately on YouTube about a new system to bypass the Panama Canal, where it's like they're going to unload the ships and put it on rail cars and send it railroad across. And I don't think it's going to end up being a replacement for the Panama Canal, because I mean, how do you replace that? But it should relieve some of the traffic on it.
Yeah. Actually, China was doing a project with Nicaragua. They were going to build a canal.
Oh, a second canal.
I think they were building a neighborhood. Because they started it. They started the project on the Caribbean side, and they dug in. You know, they displaced so many communities, and it was a real like crazy challenge. It's the only time we cheat with carbs. He shares little pieces of it.
Now, you gotta let me know something, because last night I watched another one of your videos where y'all went into this gorge to do some wading and swimming, had the waterfall and the deeper area.
Oh, was that the Bandite hideout?
Where it's like y'all were doing the video in conjunction with another.
Yeah. Walking up the river.
And I don't know if it's because you had the camera most of the time, but I totally got the impression that she's daddy's girl.
Well, I'd say,
I was making sure, I mean, there were some deep parts, you know, that was like, so for her,
it was safer for her.
we were all trying to decide, do we go up the river, through the river to the main falls, which weren't that impressive. The place where we stayed was much more impressive to me. You know? The main falls were they weren't very big. They were like as big as that cabin maybe, on top of that roof. Maybe a little bit taller, right? But nothing like really impressive.
Yeah, I like
And the feel around it was like just,
artificial.
it's like an abandoned tourist spot. It was like, they built it up at one point, maybe like 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Okay.
It had its moment, and now it's just these old cabins that are kind of like ruins with all the weeds. They're not even like cleaning the area. And they've put a bunch of concrete where it was like supposed to be natural stone. It's just like a weird, where we camped, which is like a kilometer down the river, where that's what you saw us. You saw us wading up through. That was a nice spot. It's called Balite Hideout. And Balite Hideout? Yeah. Nice little falls right there. You camp, you walk down. It's kind of difficult to get down to it because it's like
brand new water shoes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys.
Oh yeah.
All three of you with the brand new shoes.
Yeah. I thought you were saying you had brand new shoes.
Oh no.
If you want to go. But so we're all trying to decide when we get to the main falls, do we want to take the road or the safe way, safe way, or go up through the river? And I think some people were concerned about her, and I was like, I'll take care of her. She'll be fine. The deep spots, I'll just kind of like twist her along.
Yeah, I started getting like chest high, but that was the deepest I started getting.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
It wasn't bad. I guess it could get worse if there's like if
More
it's
rain.
raining. Yeah, and
Yeah.
It could get dangerous because of flash flooding.
Yeah.
Could wipe people out. But it wasn't until we were ready to head out when it started raining, and that was
like,
torrential rain.
Diego. There was a guy that came to volunteer in Nicaragua with me. He ended up staying for several months, like 6 months, and he was just kind of he was younger, he was on his journey, he was trying to get away from some bad habits and stuff like that. He spent a couple months, then he went back to Florida where he lived, and then he decided to come back and spend like several months.
Okay.
And it was moving from the dry season to the rainy season.
Okay.
Which means the rivers, they collect so much junk during the dry season. When those first rains come that like flush out the rivers.
Oh yeah.
We were at a stone mine because I was buying stone from this particular place, and the operation that they had with these huge diamond saws, these huge blades that would cut through.
Volcanic rock.
Volcanic
Like
rock.
right where the volcanic rock had formed, they're cutting huge chunks of the earth.
Okay.
And we got to know the owners of the mine pretty well. And so I took this guy Diego there, and on their mining property, when you drive around to the back, the river came through. So he wanted to show us that, and they had some falls, but since it was the dry season, the falls were kind of just trickling, And this kid Diego's in there playing around, he's climbing up the falls, and all of a sudden, the two of us are on the bank that's like up higher, and we see in the distance, we see all this junk. It was like sludge, mud, branches, whole tree trunks, just everything you can imagine, like tall, like this tall, just moving along.
Yeah.
And we're like, Diego, get out of there. And he was like, he's just like a crazy kid that just loved adventure. And he's like, no, I'm climbing the wall. And we're like, and I got serious. I was like, get out of here right now. He got out. When he got out, this stuff all came over the falls. And the whole thing opened up. The river, that's like, it happens every year, And that happened to be the moment that it happened, where the river opened. Because there had been like 2 or 3 heavy rains that week.
Yeah.
And that was enough to get everything moving again. If he didn't get out in that moment, he would have been washed away. And he was like, that wasn't that strong. I would have been fine. I don't think so. Yeah, I know you're a good swimmer, but yeah, Silong, maybe we can, we can plan something. We have a car, so
All right, that'll be cool.
take you there. And, I'd love to play. I had no idea that they had that here, so.
Yeah, Silong, Indang, and like right now there's a huge tournament up in Tarlac. And I'm totally misunderstood about that. I thought that was in February, so I was going to come back in February to play that one.
And it's
Because there's a guy that's been playing disc golf like from its inception in the 70s that's going to be there because there's a disc golf, a Philippines disc golf power couple that are getting married. So they're combining the whole thing with the tournament.
Wow.
And I wanted to go, but it's happening right now, and I had misunderstood, so I didn't have time to plan a trip up there.
Oh, that's too bad. Oh, good. You got hot chocolate. Mine. Is this mine?
Yeah,
I thought that was yours. I already had coffee this morning. We were debating, should we just wait to have our coffee down in the Tivo, or so this is gonna juice me up.
Is there any such thing as too much coffee, though?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And the other thing I've started because of these people here is like pretty much every night I've been coming to grab one of these to go and have it in the room.
Yeah.
And I guess it's maybe helping me sleep. I don't know. I have friends that swear they have to have their coffee at night
Before they go to bed.
Yeah. And I don't really notice anything, but I don't really notice stuff like that.
Yeah.
And about a week ago, I hitched a ride going up to Popeye to check in at the VA clinic. Because, you know, it's VA, and that's I wanted to see what was offered. And your buddy from next door, Kirby, is the one that brought me up there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mentioned y'all, you know, Phil Instagram, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's Paul. He's our friend."
Yeah.
So me, Kirby, and Arlene had our little adventure outside.
Wow. Yeah, 3 days.
But no toast.
No toast. That's just ketchup, right? You didn't have to wait. I didn't realize that you were meeting.
It's okay. I mean,
Just turn your weight around so that I can't see the nails.
This girl's a vegetarian.
That's got to be. I mean, even though there's lots of fresh fruits and vegetables here, that's got to be hard to do here.
It's complicated.
Because there's also a lot of meat.
Yeah, I mean, ever since, 2 years old, 2.5?
Yeah.
We took her to the zoo once in Singapore. And ever since then, she made this connection with her brain. She understood what she was doing when she was eating animals somehow.
Wow.
She was adamant. I mean, there was nothing we could do to force her or whatever.
Yeah.
We would try to trick her for a while. We were trying to find creative ways of getting some meat into her, but no avail. She'll eat eggs, right? And
Dairy.
yeah, we try to get lots of real butter into her. It's important for the brain somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if somebody starts being vegetarian at a really young age, like her, if that has some kind of effect on growth. Because I mean,
It depends on how you supplement it. Because what you can't get from
The protein.
yes, proteins. A doctor told us that we have to make sure she gets a lot of vitamin B complex.
okay.
And there's other stuff like whole-fighted meat. We have to make sure she gets that some other ways.
Yeah, so it's so far. I
Mostly
mean,
vitamin B.
she's tall for her age. I mean, she's normal for what a U.S. kid would be at 7 years old. Here, she's of course a head above everybody else that's her age, all the other kids. So I don't know. Her development seems to be okay. It's just we just challenging. But she's got a lot of proteins. She's got a lot of, she's strong. She does Taekwondo.
Okay.
So she's got like stamina, endurance. She's strong.
It doesn't look like it, but her muscles are like really compact.
She's dense.
Dense.
Probably from the high protein diet. A lot of peanut butter, a lot of
Well,
eggs.
before we used to give her a lot of protein bars
Okay.
when she was younger.
Okay. Oh,
She did basketball for a while.
and good old Spam. When I was in the supermarket the other day, they had it locked in the cabinet like it was Walmart hair products or something. Now the other brands, the I guess store brands of this same product were out on the shelves, but the Spam was protected.
I guess it's a deep history. It goes back to the war. U.S. soldiers, you know, would have that as part of their grub. So yeah, they started. I think kind of like partnering with locals. Like they would want some other goods, you know,
Okay.
and they'd give them the Spam because they just got sick of it, because it was just like constant flow of Spam. And,
I think that's something that a lot of us as Americans just don't realize anymore, is that bartering is just as good as cash.
yeah.
You know, America's such a not even cash-based society. I can't say cash-based because everybody's got cards now.
Yeah.
You know, but it's all about money, not about exchanging goods.
Yeah. Yeah, Nicaragua is just naturally, it was kind of like that. It's just out in the countryside where the poor farmers were. You know, the people that grew the vegetables would trade for a liter of milk for, you know, from the guy that had the cow.
Yeah. Yeah.
They give them vegetables, you give them a liter of milk, that kind of thing.
I mean, I can see it. That's the way things used to be way back when.
Yeah. So with the VA clinic, so they have that here for Americans?
Yeah.
Even if you're traveling, like if you're not a expat here, like a resident, you have access?
Yeah, I mean, it's VA, and VA's good wherever there's a VA clinic. And the one here in Pasay is the only one that's outside of the continental United States, except for maybe one in Guam, because there used to be an American base there, or maybe there still is, I don't know.
Were you Army or
Marines.
Marines? Oh, my nephew's a Marine.
Cool. Tell him I said, "Ura." But yeah, the services are limited here, you know.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. She loves to edit her own videos.
Oh,
Well, that's a picture. So pretty limited.
yeah. Like for instance, they won't do my prescriptions here. In an emergency, they'll give me 15 days supply, one time only. So I still got to order my stuff from the States, and I brought 6 months worth with me because I've been building up over the past year or two. So I have enough of all except for the main one that I need, which is the new one that got my heart under control. But I can get my cousin, I get it shipped to my cousin's house, and she can turn around and mail it to me.
You can't find it here? What is it?
I don't know. It's called Dofetilide. I haven't even tried to find it here.
I'm on
But
heart medicine.
now that you bring it up, maybe
it
I
might
can
have
find it
something,
here,
yeah, because
and it may be more affordable than getting it sent here.
It could be.
a lot of the medicines that are supplied here are made in India.
Okay.
So there's a shorter supply chain from India to here. So I'm guessing that it's probably cheaper.
Okay. I'll
But
definitely look
yeah,
into
we
it.
could. I mean, I don't know if you can get things like this over the counter. Or you actually have to have a prescription for that kind of medicine. But it would be easy to get it prescribed if you went to the doctor and told them, look, I take this medicine in the States, I can't find it here. Or I need a
And
prescription.
that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, my cardiologist in the States, one of his things before me coming out here, he told me to get a cardiologist here immediately. You know, so I'll find a cardiologist and should be able to prescribe it, I would think.
You know, there's a hospital right there.
They gave me a list. There's 4 hospitals in the Philippines that I can use. I didn't memorize their names, but it's like I can use them as like a VA hospital and just go and not get charged anything.
Wow.
2 of them are in Cavite.
Okay.
Okay. Might be that Trias, General Trias.
I don't remember. I didn't memorize the names. But if I go to any other hospital, they give me this form to fill out where, you know, I'll have to pay and then get reimbursed. But it has to be connected to my service determined disability, which is my heart. You know, that would be the
a
most.
CPAP?
Yeah.
I saw you talking about it on the video.
Yeah.
Is that for, so what happens? Do you get like, what's it called?
Apnea?
Apnea?
Yeah. OSA, obstructive sleep apnea.
How did you know you had it?
I didn't. I was talking with some friends, another truck driver, and he was mentioning that he had it and had the CPAP and everything, and how much of a difference it made in his life. And I'm like, you know, look at me, I'm fat. I'm a prime candidate for sleep apnea. So I got with the VA and I said, you know, hey, let's find out. So they sent me for a sleep test evaluation, and the only bad part about it was the communication, because it's like I went for the test and then didn't hear anything. So then I call up the VA and I say, you know, hey, so what happened with the evaluation? And then I got a call from the sleep clinic saying for me to come in for the evaluation. I said, but I already had the evaluation, I want the results. And they're like, no, you have to come in for a second one. Because it's like the first time you go, they just get video and record you sleeping. And then the second time you go in, they give you a CPAP and record that also, and I guess compare the 2 videos. And they determined that I had obstructive sleep apnea. So then I had to go to a different VA about 90 miles away from home and get my little CPAP machine. And like asking the lady, so what did it say in the test? And she says, well, I can see it here on my computer, but I'm not allowed to tell you about it.
Of course.
And I'm like, what the heck, you know? So then she asked me, what kind of mask do I want? And I'm like, I don't know. So I got the one that I thought would be best for me, and then later on switched to a different one. Then later on, I was in Houston for a cardiology appointment, and that's when I decided, what the heck, there's a sleep clinic here. I'm gonna go talk with them, because I had been having problems with a seal, because once there's like a ramp up time where you put it on and it blows lightly, but then after you're supposedly asleep, it starts blowing harder. and I was having trouble with it blowing completely off my face, where it would make raspberries on my face, you know.
Yeah.
You know?
It'll wake you up.
And I was like, you know, what the heck? So the Houston people gave me some what's called gecko strips. And it's like a silicone strip that fits right here over the bridge of the nose, and it helps with the seal. And that was a tremendous help. Plus they gave me a different kind of mask. And that was a big help also. And I didn't realize, you know, since I was all interbulated from the communications problems and everything, I didn't know that the CPAP was actually helping me. So when I had a chance to go to a friend's birthday party in Mississippi, I decided to leave the CPAP at home since I was just going for overnight. And when I woke up the next morning, I had a sore throat. And that told me, yeah, I guess the CPAP is helping, you know, because that sore throat feels like it's from snoring. So yeah, it was a help, and I experimented one more time, and again, I woke up with a sore throat, and now it's like I'm almost scared to be stuck without it.
Really? Yeah.
How big is the machine?
It's about like this, and it has like a water reservoir. That's why I'm happy to find that right there at the 7-Eleven. I can get some distilled water for it, because in Japan I could not find distilled water.
Yeah, I saw that you had put non-distilled water in, and you were worried if you were.
Yeah, and
Is that right?
when I Googled, is it okay to use mineral water? Google says no, that will eventually clog it up. So I was happy to find it here, and it's so easy to find here. I mean, every supermarket I go to, they have it, and lots of it. And I mean, you'll even have distilled drinking water here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that and that's why I couldn't exactly live like you guys, because I gotta have power now.
Well, I might be a candidate for that.
But you might be. You know, Dr. Rich about it, Matthew mentioned that Rich needs a sleep study.
He needs what?
A sleep study done.
A sleep study?
My brother.
I just recently I've woken up like gasping for air. It's a terrible feeling. And a couple of times the whole like one side of my body would be completely like,
No.
not just like falling asleep, but like can't move it, you know. Like,
and you know, that's another thing. My ex-wife, it was from Cavite, by the way, Tanza, used to say that she would worry about me when sleeping, not from my snoring, but when I would stop snoring.
Yeah, me too. I would check on him.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll recommend the sleep study.
Yeah, I can't sleep sometimes when he snores so loudly, but when he doesn't snore, that's when I get really worried.
Yeah.
I keep.
And you know, there's another thing, like I had some friends talking about, like I guess basically it would be sleep terrors that they would have, like, you know, here's this alien coming after them or something. But it's like, I used to get that pretty regularly, or get to where like I'm dreaming I'm in a fight with somebody and I have like sleep paralysis, like where I'm trying to fight back but I can't get my body to move.
Yeah, I get that.
And I've only had that happen like twice since I've been on CPAP, so I can't help but think that the two things are related. Yeah.
Oh, you cheated. It just showed up for you, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was diagnosed, what, 8 years ago? Or
Before we got married.
ischemia. So I basically, I'm a prime candidate for a stroke or a heart attack at any moment. The blood oxygen, oxygen saturation in my blood it'll drop on any given day. I can go down into the 80s, which is considered a medical emergency. But for me, it's just like almost every day. It's like it's a normal part of my life. Your oxygen sat supposed to be 95 or above. That's average, 95%. So I'm usually low 90s, and then it'll start stepping down into the 80s, sometimes high 70s, and then it just steps back up, goes back down. It's never constant.
When I first started going to the VA, I was always at 99. But now, when I'm going, it's like 96, 95.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm getting worried. And they're like, no,
That's still good. Yeah. As long as you stay at 95 or above. So I have to, sometimes I just have to get up and exercise. That'll bring it back up. Or massage. Even she knows how to jump on my back. Get the circulation flowing,
Save you a few dollars.
Yeah.
So this alien thing, do you still have the alien probe?
Yeah. Oh, you saw that one. Huh?
Yeah. Well, it was an intriguing title. He had this huge lump on his arm somewhere up here, right?
It was right here.
And he was gonna get it removed, but they wouldn't.
That was actually from my motorcycle crash. Where I don't remember the title of that video, but I went on a Cajun Harley Davidson like every Saturday. Sponsors a ride, and all the riders gather at Cajun Harley Davidson, and they go for a ride for an hour or two around the area, go back to the dealership, and the dealership gives them lunch. They have like different chefs come in and prepare a really nice Cajun meal or Creole meal. And it was on that my front tire skidded out, and my arm, even though I had like it went through my riding jacket, my long sleeve t-shirt, and still had a pebble in there that I only saw it on an x-ray when they were x-raying something else. There was something shiny there. So then they sent me to the VA in Alexandria, which is the one that's about 100 miles away from home. And got in with the doctor, and he's looking at the x-ray, and he's like, really, you want me to get that? And I'm like, well, it's something that's not supposed to be there. And he's like, dude, I would have to tear up your arm something fierce to try to find that little speck of whatever it is in there. So he didn't do anything. And as far as I know, it's still in there.
I'm surprised the body didn't try to push it out when it was still an open wound.
It
must have been so deep in there.
I guess there was a little bit of blood there, but it wasn't really an open wound type situation.
So it healed fast on the outside, so they couldn't push it out.
It didn't heal particularly fast, though. I mean, I was discolored in this area for a couple of months, and I thought that was going to be permanent.
Yeah.
And I had my bruised ribs, and then like 6 weeks later, it's still hurting. So that's when I went to the VA to get the x-ray, and they told me, no, I ain't bruised, they broke.
Oh.
So I ended up having the 2 broken ribs, but of course, what are they going to do?
After that long.
Yeah, there's nothing to be done. But it's all better now. So I'm looking forward to get a motorcycle around here.
Oh, so you still ride, huh?
I'm not a fanatic about it like a lot of riders, but I enjoy it, and that's one thing that I'm already missing here is not having my own transportation. I really gotta take care of that.
Yeah.
and I want to build up my endurance and find out if I can like actually do some motorcycle touring, because I think that would be a lot of fun to just do
there's
some touring.
some nice mountainous areas that you can enjoy. Where we went with the van.
Yeah. Why the grimace?
Well, actually, it would have been really nice if we had a motorcycle. It would be perfect. But we
Yeah.
didn't. We had a heavy van, and it was not built for something like that.
Yeah, there were moments I mean, the guys ahead of us on his motorcycle, and there were moments that maybe 20, 30 times I thought about just stopping and turning around. Not only that, but we were almost at a diesel. We had no idea it was like that. We thought it was just like from because it's the coast, Lobo, it was like the beach area where it was supposedly near. And it is near, I mean, by kilometers, it's only like 10 or 15 kilometers. But it's 10 or 15 kilometers like this.
Yeah.
Not just like, bloop. I just thought it was like a little bit mountainous and go ahead, 15 kilometers, no big deal. So I was talking to the guy when we met up with him. And I said, how far is this anyway? Because I might need to get diesel. And then I got lazy. I looked at the gas tank. I was like, I could probably make it. He said, I don't know. I've never measured how far it is. And I was like, I'll make it. We ended up having to buy diesel in the countries, in the mountain. There's like these little villages here and there, you know, just tiny villages. And they sell gas and they sell diesel because people get up there and they don't realize like you run out. There's nothing there. There's no gas stations, no nothing. You know? So
Another thing in a situation like that you have to keep in mind is, you know, when you're at an angle, that puts the fuel at a different location in your tank.
Right.
yeah, I was really worried.
So you might not be getting the real reading.
Yeah.
Or it's just
Well, not just that,
And
but
it consumes more.
all of a sudden you
there's
just
the tube
sucking
in there
air.
that sucks
Yeah.
the fuel, and it might not be in the fuel anymore.
Yeah, and with the diesel, you know that if you run out with diesel, it's not like gas where you just get some gas and put it in and start something going.
Yes.
The diesel, you have to like pump out the air or something. So I was thinking all that. I was thinking numerous scenarios. It wasn't fun. I was traumatized for like 3 days when we got home. It's just that van's been in some good mountains around here, but that was probably the worst. I don't think unless we went to Baguio with it, it would probably be similar. But I don't think we'll ever do that.
We probably could, but we do the long way, not the least steep roads. There are three major highways to get to Baguio.
Yeah.
I eventually have to make my way to Baguio also to hit the Philippines version of Costco.
Oh yeah, the SNR? There's one right down the hill
Here at Nuvali.
Really?
in Silang.
Okay.
Like you go down.
When you said SNR earlier, I thought you meant SNR Pizza.
Yeah, I meant
in
that.
the mall.
Yeah. But there's an actual big store
Okay.
down in Nuvali, which is there's that huge hill that comes up into Tagaytay from what is that, Santa Rosa? Do you know Santa Rosa?
Yeah, Santa Rosa,
No.
Tagaytay Road, just down
Santa
there.
Rosa Tagaytay Road.
Probably
So you
around
take this
maybe
down
25 minutes.
and make a left. You start going down. As soon as you start going down, there's fruit markets on both sides. That's how you would know.
Is
it's
that the
America.
one, the area with the wooden furniture?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
100 wooden furniture
Yep,
stores.
yep.
Okay.
So if you got
that's
down to the
road
bottom of that
I-
hill, right at the bottom on the right hand side is that SNR.
Okay, I didn't even notice that.
Maybe if this golf place is close to there, maybe we can go there.
Oh, is that towards Ceylon?
Silang is kind of big,
Yeah.
but Silang
After
is
Silang, it's Nuvali.
that road going down where the furniture is. That's Silang, but then Silang kind of spreads out. So
I still owe them the change. Yesterday.
I thought it would pop up. I'm trying to.
Of course, my
Did you bring the pouch?
I did.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I don't have. I thought I grabbed some. Couple hundreds and 50s. I must have left it on the table.
30. I need 20 more beds. Yeah, I saw.
Oh man, that's such a good job. Okay.
Yen Center.
What do you need?
I need 20 pesos more.
Are you meeting them on the 17th floor?
I don't know because it's not sending.
We actually have a rental unit that we rent out to people on the 17th floor up there.
Okay.
And the guests are checking out right now. She still owes them money. She didn't have change when they checked in last night. They gave us more than they needed to. And, you're on the, what floor are you on?
11.
11.
And I'm really disappointed.
Yeah, I saw the mold on the. I'm like, did you see his condo door video?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
His shelving has black mold on it, which is it's typical here. I mean, it's hard because of the way the weather is. You know, if you don't have a cleaner that's on it, you know, it's just that's gonna happen. But he picked up a glass that was up there. You're in your
Business
you're in your
first.
mode, yeah.
Sorry. Because I need change.
Do you have 20 pesos we can borrow?
I don't even know if the guest is still there.
How long ago was it?
Like
I do.
30
Ah,
minutes
thank
ago.
you.
Thank you.
30 minutes?
They said they were just gonna leave the keys inside the room, but they're gonna lock it.
You need the other set.
I'm gonna need the other set, but it's in the condo, I think. Is it there?
No. This is the,
Yeah, I don't have.
oh well, it'll all work out.
So you ever meet some new friends and already they're borrowing money from you? That's got to
Maybe
be
I
what,
can
like
just
30
Gcash it to
cents?
them. I think I'm gonna just Gcash it to them because
yeah, that's probably the best way.
20 pesos, that's got to be like about 30 cents,
30
right?
cents, yeah.
Wow. And see, that's another amazing thing. She's totally stressing out about 30 cents. And Americans are like, 30 cents. You know, who cares?
They won't
I
leave
didn't
without
see
their
the-
money, right?
I don't know.
They didn't park. They're commuting.
Yeah.
Even your phone won't send with the regular cell phone?
Now it's sending. I have load on this. This has to be able to send. But it wasn't sending.
Interesting.
It didn't come in until much later. Because I had it from here to get the signal.
Well, we didn't know they were checking out early. That's pretty early.
They sent the message at 8:46. When I got to the story at 9:10. So it's 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, the rentals can be hit or miss here. You probably got this. There's some people it's just all business, you know. They own several, and like they just don't even. The first time we came to look at the condo that my father ended up buying, we stayed on the 8th floor, and it was one of those misses. You know, it was just like terrible. And then like everything in there is like there were these little signs. If you want a blanket, it's gonna cost you 100 pesos extra. If you want to use a blanket, 100 pesos. If you want to There was no Wi-Fi. You know, it was just horrible.
There was Wi-Fi, but then
There was?
There wasn't.
I
There
guess-
wasn't, but there was, but at 12 o'clock it suddenly stopped working. And we had to load at 7-Eleven just to communicate with you.
Since I should probably say something nice about my unit, the Wi-Fi is good.
Oh, okay.
Wow, Mary, that's really good. I didn't know you did the whole thing by scratch. I thought you did it on top of another one. She'll record herself drawing it, so it'll do a hyperlapse.
Oh, nice.
At the end.
Can I see?
Coconut tree. It looks like it's at the beach. Right?
See what it said over
And it
there.
has roots and everything.
Yeah.
It's even the side of
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. I thought you found a little template and then you drew on top of it. Yeah. The way the roots were and everything. I've never seen you draw anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think you've drawn coconut.
Yeah, she's gonna be a whiz with like with the editing and doing her own videos.
She's already better than me, that's for sure.
Pretty good, Miriam. Good job. All right,
There's a
take this.
blended version.
A blended version. You blended the colors. Wow.
Coconuts are supposed to be blended.
Yeah. So when we can figure out like, because December's crazy for rentals, you know. So
Here it's gonna be crazy.
trying to figure out.
By next week, people are gonna be.
And like you were saying about the elevators and what everything is, you know. So
Yeah.
it'll
Yeah.
be. You won't want to go near the elevator between 12 and
Yeah.
1. You know.
That's the worst I've noticed is like
Yeah.
at noon, I guess everybody's
Check
going
out.
to lunch.
It's checkout time, yeah. And lunch. And then check in would be 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Stay away, you know. Especially on the weekends.
Realized we didn't have any fireworks last night.
Oh yeah, you've been recording that.
Yeah.
That's from the Fora Mall, I think.
No, it's from further back.
Oh, it must be a Sky Ranch.
No, here. Well, there's Sky Ranch over here.
What
and
side
then,
are you on? If you're
I'm,
facing-
I'm like the other side.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you do see part of the lake.
Yeah.
If you look to
yeah,
the left, you
yeah.
see the. Okay, so I think it's Sky Ranch.
Well, there's Sky Ranch farther away. Fora, sometimes they don't often do it.
But that's close.
Only for special occasions.
Yeah.
And then there's Aguila.
There's a place where they have wedding receptions.
Crystal Palace. There.
And I had asked Marge about it, and she said that it was probably a wedding. But I see most of it coming
Yeah.
from that direction.
Yeah, that's not the wedding one. The one that you're recording is not the wedding. The wedding is
One time over there.
Yeah, and it's always the same thing. It ends up the same way. It's kind of like cookie cutter kind of. That's not the ones that you're.
And that
must be-
direction is much further away.
It's probably Sky Ranch.
Yeah.
Sky Ranch is an amusement park. That way.
It looks like it might be in the Starbucks area. Or maybe.
Starbucks down that way too.
Yeah. Hiraya?
Hiraya.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
Hiraya.
Because there's one up the road here,
Yeah.
not too far, half a mile maybe.
The other Starbucks is here too.
I'm trying to avoid the American establishments, but
Yeah.
I've been unsuccessful.
You should do the McDonald's because of the view.
I did.
That'll be your excuse.
Yeah, well,
Go on a clear day, because they do have a nice view there. They're a good spot.
Yeah, I didn't go upstairs yet, but I imagine the upstairs probably has a
Oh,
really
the
nice
roof
view.
deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you should do that. You should make a video on that. The sunset's pretty nice. If you find if the sky is blue.
I got a sunset
And
on one
very
of my
clear
videos.
days, on very clear days, really clear where you can see for miles around, you can see the windmills.
Yeah,
There's a
place.
wind farm in Rizal, in Rizal, and very
pretty
clear
tourist.
days.
like a local tourist place,
See
local store here to see the
on top of
windmills. You know.
mountains.
But you can see a whole strip of them over there. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's so far away.
I didn't know that was a thing here. I did notice that here it gets windy.
Oh yeah.
And especially, like, I mean, even here, when that door open and this
Oh, yeah.
door open, sometimes my hair will be all over the place.
So yeah, we'll try to figure out, as long as you can be a little bit spontaneous, we'll figure out a day. We'll go to
Oh, I was showing you this. I don't think you got a chance to
Oh,
look
I
at it.
didn't.
That is the place in Ceylon.
Okay.
Yen Benitez. It's closed on the weekends.
Closed on the weekends?
Yep.
You think that would be when it was open, right? Okay, so it's up going towards Das Marinas.
Which one is it? Benitez. No.
So that would not be near the SNR. There's Belite Falls. That's the falls we hiked up the river to.
What?
That's the golf, not golf.
Oh, the
Disc golf.
Oh, okay.
So this is
Before Dasma, this is the Calax.
Oh, this is just right up.
That's Calax. So after the Silang exit of Calax.
We are there. Directions say that it's like a half hour by motorbike from here.
Yeah.
18 kilometers.
Okay. Not bad. Yeah, well, so no weekend. It'll have to, that's better for us anyway because rentals are crazier on the weekends.
And if you wanted to go to Driftwood's Action Park
Oh yeah.
in Dang,
Yeah.
Have you been there?
yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. My first trip over there was Tuesday, and they're closed on Tuesday.
Oh.
So I did go a second time.
It's also a campsite.
Do they also have disc golf there?
Yeah.
Oh, you went there and did
Yeah.
disc golf. That's where you did it. In Indang.
Pay attention to my channel, Paul.
I knew you went to Indang. I didn't know it was Driftwood.
Yeah, Driftwood's Action Park.
Yeah, we've been wanting to get there. 'Cause she's like very hyperactive. She always needs to be running, jumping, climbing, bouncing.
Kicking.
Unless she's focusing on art or something creative there, she's.
I found a local guy that's been doing videos of disc golf tournaments, and there was one at Driftwoods, and you can clearly see a bunch of tents.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's cool.
I think that'd be a good thing to do if we had a campsite. But you need a big piece of land for that. Like, not really big. It could be back and forth.
It may be kind of easy to get to. You
Not
never-
up in the mountains.
Yeah, you never know the skills of the
No,
driver.
I had no idea it was that far into the mountains. We never would have even attempted.
Yeah, because the guy grew up there, it's nothing to him. All that rocky terrain.
We had to cross rivers. Yeah, it was wild.
I guess it's all about what you're used to.
For him, the distance isn't so great because he has a motorcycle and he lives there. And he lived there and grew up there.
I mean, I love adventure. Don't get me wrong, but that was out of our domain with that van. You know, that should have never happened.
Well, next time get a four-wheel drive.
Yeah. We came down a very steep part and we met up with a jeepney. You know the jeepneys?
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been a lot easier for them just to go into neutral, and come to find out they would have just had to reverse a little bit down the hill, and there was a nice spot where they could pull over. They made us put our thing in reverse and go up the mountain in reverse. So I basically burned out the clutch in reverse. And it was just traumatic.
And see, you just remind me of another thing that I think would be great in America. When I got here, the taxi that I got was a mommy van, but it was diesel and it was a stick.
Oh wow. Okay.
And, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's hard to find anything diesel in America anymore.
I
except
know,
for like
right?
bigger trucks.
Yeah.
But I think that would be great. And I mean, I was talking with Kirby. We had a chance for some good conversation going to Pasay and back. And he's telling me that basically every vehicle here you can get diesel.
There's diesel variants.
Variants, yeah.
Cars.
And diesel is cheaper here than gas.
Which would be another plus.
U.S. it's much more expensive, right?
Oh, they stole your van.
Oh. There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
The L300 is like the working man's van here. It's been that way for 42 years. They haven't even changed. Like, it's the only vehicle that can claim that. There are
It's
others.
crazy. You look at the street any given moment and you see one.
L300. L300. They're called L300. Mitsubishi L300.
And
Reliable.
see, Mitsubishi doesn't have such a great reputation in the States right now.
Yeah, but they're reliable.
In the States, they say they're not. And the thing that I noticed in the States is that everything comes with the CVT, the constantly variable transmission. So it's like super automatic, or like the kind you get on those little four-wheelers side by sides that go off-road.
Yeah.
And it's like Subaru has for sure had big trouble with those transmissions. They have to offer like really big extended warranties on them to be able to sell their vehicles. And I noticed Nissan is starting to put out a lot of them.
Yeah.
But the Mitsubishi ones seem to be maybe more problematic than the rest, but Mitsubishi just isn't as popular. I see lots of Mitsubishis here.
Yeah.
And to me it looks like the Montero is comparable to the Land Cruiser. Look, Arlene. Does she live there?
What's that?
Or is that one of their units? Arlene,
She has
Pushing up on the fourth floor?
second.
Yeah, maybe the fifth floor. This is the third floor. And then,
Oh, yeah. So, that would be the fourth floor. Yeah.
yeah, they have a unit on the fourth floor.
Okay. I didn't know they owned units until some Filipina, apparently a nail technician, sent me a friend request.
That's their place too.
Well, no, it wasn't Jackie there, but the name was Jackie. And I looked before just randomly accepting the friend request. I looked at it, and then there's Kirby's picture. So I'm like, okay, she knows them. So I got to be Facebook friends with Kirby through that also. And from that, I saw that Kirby owns at least one unit right now that he's trying to rent out. And I don't know if it would be here or maybe a different
Yeah, it's up there on the fourth floor. It might be. I'm not quite sure if they still have one or if it's like an aunt, like a family member. They have family members that spent their whole lives in the States, working in the States, so they send money back and invest. But they might have their own. I'm not sure. But I'm sure that beard spa that you went to is right there, right?
Yeah.
That's theirs too.
Now I'm looking,
But they're selling it. They
Yeah.
sold it. I
Oh,
know they
really?
closed it. There's
Yeah, it's been closed and opened and closed. I don't know. Yesterday it was closed when I went by it.
well, I saw that the
They
name of
announced
it
that
is
they
Del
closed it.
Mar, so
That's his last name.
yeah, so it must still be theirs.
They're
And that's where-
selling it.
They might have
haven't
sold
it.
like the whole, the equipment, the name, the whole package kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if they owned the space or they were renting it. Like this, they rent the restaurant here.
Yeah.
They were over there last year at a smaller spot, and then they decided to expand. They moved over here and built everything out, and then business has been terrible. It's picking up now, but like October, November, or September, October, November, maybe it's been very slow for all the rentals, for all the restaurants here. It's been tough for people to manage.
Yeah. My first day here, I was looking for a nail salon, and according to Google Maps, there was supposed to be one on this side over here.
Oh yeah, there is. I think it's on the second floor.
I couldn't find it, and I came back around this way, and there was Marge.
Oh yeah.
So, I said, hey, where's the nail salon? And she took me.
Okay. It's the stairs are right down at the end here. You go up to the second floor and then down.
Okay.
You can see the way when they built this place. I mean, there's a lot of empty stores up there because they built this place, and then like 3 years later, after the whole condo complex opened, there was an eruption.
Ooh. Okay.
Everything got ashfall. I mean, like all the units, just came in right through the windows, even if the windows were closed somehow at all. So it destroyed the tourism, and then the pandemic hit. So first it was so this place was a brand new place, 2014 or 2015, like the whole condo, and it never really got going because of that. And so upstairs here, it's like a mini mall up there.
Okay.
There's probably 20 storefronts that only the nail salon. There's what do you call that? Looks like a call center or something that's functioning, and then something to do with one of the banks, like might be another call center for a bank or something.
Okay.
But those are like the only 3 functioning things up there, and there's lots of stores potential stores. It's kind of a shame.
Yeah, it would have been a bustling place. We could,
Hey,
we could
like-
get
And
businesses
that's
in.
like the place I'm fascinated with in Johor Bahru is Forest City.
Forest City.
And it's got a bunch of condos. It's like housing for 70,000 people. And it was $100 billion. Mostly Chinese investors came in and built this. And then COVID hit. So now instead of having like 70,000 residents, it has like 7,000 residents. So the prices are good, and it's mostly vacant. So I'm fascinated with it, and I want to go check it out and see if that might be a place that I would consider living.
Oh yeah.
Because it's definitely cheaper than the rest of the places.
Yeah, a lot of people who work in Singapore actually live in Johor Bahru. Because it's like 15 minutes away.
Yeah,
on the
it's
bridge.
right across the street.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where we went?
Yeah, that's where we-
Legoland is?
No,
Yeah.
from Johor Bahru, we had to travel like 15-20 minutes to Legoland. But Johor Bahru is the other side of that big bridge from
Yeah.
Singapore,
Yeah.
from Woodlands.
But a lot of the apartment ads that I look at, they do mention Legoland.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes from Legoland and stuff. So yeah, that area.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you do like Airbnb, or how do you find?
Well, so far, since I was spending so little time in Japan, I just got hotels.
Okay.
And here I went through Agoda.
Oh, okay. So these people were on Agoda, the 11th floor. Yeah, but it was like, as I was saying earlier, like the shelving, the cabinets. This doesn't have doors, right? It was just
Yeah, it has
where the
doors.
glasses were at.
It has doors.
Black mold, and then he picked up the glass, and there's black mold on the rim
Yes.
of the glass.
Yeah, I was
On
going
what
to take my
floor?
morning medication.
11th floor.
11th?
And then
And I was like, oh, you got a winner.
yesterday, I lost my key. So I had to contact him to come bring me a key. And I showed the guy the mold. The toilet was almost completely covered with mold. So he reached behind the toilet, and there's a brush back there, and he brushed it off. I had never seen the brush because it was so far back there. And he also grabbed a rag from under the sink and wiped it off of everywhere that he could find in the shower. So it's cleaned up, but I'm pretty sure it'll come back before I leave.
Yeah, it's not disinfected. It's just
Yeah, he
wipes off.
with water.
Did you find your key, or did you lose
Yeah.
it?
See, when I was gonna have my ride to Ceylon on the tuk-tuk, I had put it in my disc golf bag so that I wouldn't lose it, and I forgot that I put it there. And when the guy canceled on me, I went in such a deep depression that I totally forgot about it. Yeah. And then later on, you know, the guy brought me another key, and that's when he cleaned everything. And about 2 hours after that, I'm watching YouTube videos, and I go, wait a minute, I had put it in my bag. I bet that's where it is. And sure enough, it was in my bag.
Were they gonna charge you for an extra
No.
one? No.
I gave him $100 for coming out and cleaning that stuff up. And that's the other thing, I'm so torn about tipping here. It's like my first time at the salon, I tipped them, then when I got back to the room, I whipped out Google to see how much I tipped them, and I felt guilty because I tipped them so little, but they were so grateful. And everywhere I go, I don't know how much, if I'm supposed to tip at all.
Yeah, you know, people don't tip here, but they know that Americans tip because it's a tourist town. So
Yeah.
every time Americans come through, they're the ones that are known for tipping. You know, not even Europeans really. But so they might kind of expect it. You think maybe sort of. I still always feel like I need to tip,
Yeah.
and we usually do. But yeah, even just like it doesn't have to be a percentage. It can be like 20 pesos.
It's like when Kirby, Arlene, and I got back into town from Pasay, we went to eat at Max's. And I bought, because, you know, they waited for me like 2 hours over there. And I forget what the bill was, but it was, you know, 3 grown people full meals. And I'm like, Perry, how much did I tip? And he said, just give me 50. So I gave him 50. And then I'm sitting there complaining because, man, that just doesn't seem like enough. And he'll be like, okay, leave another 50 on the table or something. You know.
If you check the receipt, they sometimes put the
Service charge. Yeah. You look for that. The waiter will get that.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I was trying to decipher it from the table, but you were talking about the steak. You didn't want to mention the place?
I didn't want to at first, but then about 2 videos later, I was
you
like,
did?
all right, I'll tell you, it's Arturo's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it seems like such a nice place, but not a lot of turnover, you know. They don't have a lot of business.
And I mean, the waiters are all in their nice uniforms and stuff.
Yeah.
And it looks nice on the inside. I didn't go to the upper floor, but, you know, it's like, it was so tough.
Yeah.
My teeth still hurt sometimes.
You know where it'd probably be a good steak is 95 Diner 95. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Route
I
95.
saw it when we drove by it.
They have all you can eat. $7.99. It's kind of expensive for a local, you know. But chicken, ribs, they have really good ribs. Fall off the bone kind of ribs.
Okay. I
Chicken
could use
ribs.
that.
I don't think the steak was part of it. I know like these Hungarian sausage things.
Okay.
Just stick with the ribs and chicken. I mean, they'll give you one of them. They give you like, you start out with ribs, chicken, Hungarian sausage, and burger patties maybe. It's like beef, but it's like, it's not steak. It's like, I think it's just like burger. You know, no buns or anything, just like burger meat.
Maybe
Carabao,
I don't know, maybe just the beef, but they do have steaks too, I think they could get. And I've never had a steak there, but that all you can eat meal is worth it.
Do they eat Carabao here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We've had it, right?
Yeah. But not here, not here.
Where did we have it? I thought it was gonna be really tough. It wasn't too bad.
We have had it, but it's in Laguna.
Yeah.
I think it's in Nagcarlan or Mahayhay. In Arion's place, maybe.
Yeah. And the bulalo, I was telling you that if you want good beef, it's usually in the bulalo soup, which Kirby has it. Have you had bulalo?
I've had their bulalo sizzling steak,
It's different.
which reminded me of my grandmother's round steak, the way like you can stick your fork in it and just pull the pieces off of it.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, because that's the way the grain is facing,
Yeah.
I guess. But I didn't try the actual bulalo soup.
Yeah,
It's big.
It's big. You can't get a small portion. Do you have a microwave in your room?
Yeah.
Okay. Microwave safe dishes?
I am not using dishes in that room. The only thing that's been in the microwave has been my popcorn.
So you don't even do leftovers there?
Oh no. And you know, I had heard before coming out here that in most places it's actually cheaper to eat out than to cook in your own house.
No.
Well, I don't know. It depends. It depends.
It depends on if you're finding the really low budget canteens around here. That would probably be cheap, but
Or you might end up with some.
a lot of
friends
them
and
have
sisters.
tourist price offerings.
There was a guy from Oregon here, Dayton, and he's coming back, but he just went back to Oregon. He ended up with some, I guess it's not parasite, it was a bacterial infection, and he didn't know what was going on. When he was here, like a few weeks ago, he ended up being hospitalized because he thought he had a really bad case of hemorrhoids. It wasn't hemorrhoids. It was this crazy rare bacterial infection that you get from undercooked pork or some kind of cross-contamination, as he put it. So he didn't get diagnosed until he was back in Oregon, and they did like a really good blood whatever test, and they found the infection, and now they're treating it. But yeah, so some of those smaller canteens, maybe stay away from.
And you know, getting back to food costs, I started planning to come here back in May, and at that time I had like 30 grand in my Edward Jones account, and my Social Security disability check was $15.29 after they take out the Medicare, and that's what my budget was going to be to live. But since then, in August, before I could come out here, the VA approved me at 100% because of my heart. And now all of a sudden my monthly income has quadrupled. Well, more than that, because they gave me actually 2 years of back pay. And I put all of that in my Edward Jones account, along with the money that I had. I had like 100 grand, 100 something, a little over 100 grand from selling my house. And I wanted to put it where I can't get to it too easily, you know, so that it could make money for me. And now I'm expecting it to start like really making money since I put all that VA money in there and we're having the change of administration. Because last time Trump got in office, the first year, my little $30,000 retirement was made like 26%. And I'm like, damn, I should have had more money in there. And then, of course, the next year was COVID, so it actually went into the negatives. But then the year after that, it's back in the mid-20s again. And, you know, if he gets things popping again like that to where it's mid-20s, then, you know, I'll live like a king wherever I am. I mean, even right now with my VA check has quadrupled my income, and I'm still struggling with not being afraid to buy something. You know, it's like I still have my mentality of my $1,500, and it doesn't have to be like that. You know?
But it's good to keep that kind of going, you know, if you can.
Yeah. I'm trying to not be like frivolous. I mean, especially like right now while I'm totally transient, it's hard to pack everything into my suitcase, so I don't want to start accumulating material things yet, not until I decide where I'm going to settle down.
So you're literally just transient, right? Like you sold your house, so if you go back to the States, you'd have to like stay with like family or friends or rent somewhere. You don't have anything.
For my last couple of months in the States, I stayed with some friends.